Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Give up drinking. I did. And even though it's a depressant, they tell me, actually makes me happy. The problem is I like the taste of it so much. Keeps me going and going and going and going. And, you know, quite a few folks will come home, take 2 fingers worth, 3 fingers worth, helps them go to sleep. Not me. I do not believe it. Just like I don't believe those who will say that happiness cannot be created by money. I don't believe it. Give me a whole pocket full of cash and watch this smile. It's as simple as that. No doubt about it. You know, getting up early, it's not my strength. It isn't. It's just really, really, really difficult. I do it. And it's fun to complain about, but, you know, tell you, it's one day after another, and if push comes to shove, if it's getting up early to cover the Jacksonville Jaguars, man, I'd take it. We are winding down. Day 12 today, the Miller Electric Center. I think you have 6 more home dates, right? They're going to practice in Miami in a couple of weeks, which is great for them, disappointing for me personally. I'd love to be out there. I love watching them work against other teams because you get another, you know, idea as to where this club is. And this team struggled really, really badly offensively on Tuesday. They looked like a hungover bunch. They weren't moving the football. Liam Cohen was obviously upset, talked about 5 offensive penalties. You know, Fred Johnson had a couple. A lot of false starts. Trevor said they were sluggish. They were slow. They responded yesterday with what I thought was their best offensive practice, arguably, of training camp. And today they came out on fire. Now, it was a situational practice, if you will. No pads, no hitting. But I thought there was electricity. I thought there was juice. All right? There was energy at the Miller Electric Center, and it was fun to watch. And the first thing that really came to mind was the backs. They were just going second layer, third layer. I don't know if the defense decided to take half the day off. It almost felt that way because I want to say that Trevor Lawrence began this Thursday morning like 7 for 7 or 8 for 8. I mean, the offense was doing whatever they wanted during the early portion of practice. And we'll play a comment coming up a little bit later on in the program from Liam Cohen. I really asked him about that, about the last couple of days and whether or not he had something to do with motivating it. We had the conversation the other night. Where are your offensive leaders? Who got them ready to go on Wednesday and again on Thursday? Did someone say something, or did they just wake up and show everyone that they're professionals? I thought the defense, you know, was really bad today, early on. And then all of a sudden, during teamwork, very late in practice, they did a 180 on you. And especially the contain. Tyson Campbell, a great one-on-one pass breakup on Brian Thomas Jr. It was good to see him back out there today. You know, I watched him a lot in individual drills with Trevor and then some team drills really at the end of practice, probably a 15-yard route. Once again, Trevor Lawrence rolling out both, you know, favoring his to the right side as a right-handed quarterback. Also, we've seen him throw rolling out to the left side across his body. Trevor's really had a good camp. I mean, you can say it. He has really had a good camp. And, you know, that was basically one of the final plays of practice today. But it was a better day for Brian Thomas Jr. And, you know, that consistency and that chemistry, I still do think is something that you want to see more and more of. And that is going to include Saturday night. Because Liam Cohen told us right after practice today that the starters are going to play. How much? Well, that remains to be seen. You know, you can always make changes tonight, tomorrow, Saturday. He is going to talk with Mike Tomlin. I know that out of Pittsburgh, Tomlin today said that Aaron Rodgers isn't going to play. I wonder if Aaron Rodgers is going to play the players. I wonder if he's going to get around in at TPC. Jalen's not going to play, right? I mean, you just knew that there was no way that Jalen Ramsey would play here in Duval. DK Metcalf is out. Their talented back, Jalen Warren, is not going to go. The two other defensive backs right there with Ramsey, Darius Slade, Joey Porter Jr., not going to play. Ferocious defensive line. TJ Watt got his money. He's not going to play. Cameron Hayward's not going to play. And he wants a raise. He does. He's actually right now, screaming about that in Pittsburgh. It's so nice to not have any off-the-field issues in Duval outside of Eric Armstead. And I'll credit the local media for not making this an enormous story. And I'm because I had another opportunity today to ask Liam Cohen about Eric Armstead. I elected not to. What did I do? Was it Monday that I asked Dylan, or was it Tuesday that I asked? Again, during training camp, all this, it's a mirage to me. Everything runs together. But I asked Cohen earlier this week.
Yeah, I think it was Monday.
Yeah. Well, they may have been off Monday.
That's right. It was Tuesday. It was the first day of practice of this week.
Yeah. So do you understand my point? And this is to the listeners. It's like, if I really want to do something and create something, I could have doubled back down today. And be like, Liam, where's 91? I'm looking all day for him. I can't find him. I looked all day for him yesterday. I can't find him. I looked all day for him on Tuesday. I can't find him. But, really, do you, new staff, do you have to do that in a town like Jacksonville? No, you don't. I mean, if you're in Boston, you're in Pittsburgh, okay, you're absolutely, you got guys who are paid to ask those questions, to try to ruffle feathers, to try to create something that is sensational. That's not the deal around here. It's just not. But that would be the only, sidebar story that we're still trying to figure out. Hey, Mason Smith looks good to me. Doing all sorts of different exercises with his treatment and his rehabilitation, but he is still being held out. The latest on Eric Armstead, who knows? But just look around the league, man. Cook in Buffalo, here in Pittsburgh with Hayward, or there in Pittsburgh with Hayward, Dallas, D.C. with McLaren, Cincinnati with Hendricks. I mean, you got issues all throughout the NFL. You don't hear. And that's nice to know as you're about halfway through training camp again. 12 practices today, fairly light, about 90 minutes or so. They did work. They're off tomorrow night and tomorrow, and then they'll get ready. Or no media access tomorrow. And then Saturday night, it's on. We come back after our first break. I want to really discuss why this is a good move for this team to play these players. Here's my understanding. When I asked Liam Cohen earlier in the week if he was going to communicate with Mike Tomlin about how to use starters, and he said yes, they have text and they are going to talk. I'm not going to say it's follow the leader. I'm not going to say that it's Mike Tomlin, who's been, the head coach now in Pittsburgh for, 16, 17 years, and a rookie coach. And if Mike Tomlin says something, you got to abide by that. I do not feel that way. Now, I felt like there was respect that the veteran coach may have an opinion on what to do here and what to do there, but it's a totally different situation in Jacksonville compared to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a winning organization. They've had a winning record every single year that Mike Tomlin has been their coach. Granted, they're just like the Dallas Cowboys, where they struggle massively during the playoffs. But I think the move to go with these players, and we'll see how long it's going to be. And, we also told us Travis Hunter is going to go both ways. I mean, how exciting is a preseason game going to be that you get this opportunity at 7 o'clock Saturday night against Pittsburgh? But let's start with that coming up here in just a couple of moments. So we're going to be busy. Jarrett Bell is going to join us. Always loved his work, going back to the San Francisco Chronicle. I mean, he's done a lot of different stops throughout his career. And he was in town on Tuesday with the USA Today. Caught up with Bayshell Tootin who, again, had another good practice today since he's been able to bounce back from his hamstring. So we got a lot to do here over the next couple of hours. Want to tell you that tonight's show is brought to you by the good folks at Shmunez Vision. Make an appointment today. Get yourself set. School's ready to start. Hopefully your kids, they're teenagers now, whatever. Eyes. I can't imagine what looking into the phone all day does with your eyes. I remember when I was a kid, I'd be like 10 feet away from the television, 12 feet away. My dad, it's bad for your eyes. Move back, move back. I don't know if it's a tall tale, whatever it was, but that's the way things used to be. Kids today spend 8 hours a day with their heads buried right into their phone. Is it having an effect on their eyes? I don't know. Make an appointment at Shmunez Vision and find out. All right, whether it's a want, which would be 20/20 for the rest of your life, that is laser eye surgery, or if there's something significantly wrong, go to the very best around. Dr. Neil Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, Dr. John Hunt. That's Shmunez Vision, more than 30 years worth of experience those three have when it comes to surgery. Also, check them out online. That is, or on Instagram at Shmunez Vision. All right, this is a great night. Feeling a lot of energy tonight in Duval. It's a little bit cooler, right? I mean, a little bit of overcast. It's just been a really, really good day, and I think it's going to be an even better night. Let's get things started. He's Dylan Denmark. I'm Rick Ballou. We call this Into the Night.
He's entered. Open the door to the Jags locker room to bring you exclusive insights and interviews on 1010XL.
This just
in the locker room with Hayes Carlion. Unlocked by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
After our son's shoulder issues were worsening, we took him to see Dr. Snyder at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, who recommended PRP treatment. We trusted Dr. Snyder's evaluation and look forward to seeing him pitch again. For the right care, the best care, we highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Experience the Jacksonville Rock Orchestra as they bring to life the legendary sound of Journey.
Took the midnight train going anywhere.
Feel the power of Faithfully. Rock out to Wheel in the Sky and sing every word of Don't Stop Believing. Friday, August 8th at the historic Florida Theater. One epic night of the Jacksonville Rock Orchestra featuring Journey. Get your tickets at floridatheater.com.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, or Beaver Mitsubishi in St. Augustine. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels. Circa Resort and Casino has 2 epic pro football contests, Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Circa Million, pick 5 games weekly against the spread for $1 million grand prize. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no spread. Last one standing wins $15 million. Enter at any Circa in Nevada, play anywhere. Sign up for either and get 50% off a 2-night stay. Helmets and Heels will be live from Circa in Vegas on August 22nd. Full contest details at circasports.com and the 1010XL homepage.
Ballou here for Shmunez Vision. Why Shmunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Shmunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Shmunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Shmunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit shmunezvision.com today. Here you can see.
Let's get the work done.
Training camp is here.
Up, quick feet, quick feet, quick feet.
1010XL's training camp coverage is backed by Roland Reach Plumbing and Green Acres Sporting Goods.
Go, here we go. Let's go. It's live now. Let's go.
The
2025 NFL season is just around the corner, and we can't wait for you to be back at the bank. Your Jacksonville Jaguars are starting off the preseason going head-to-head with the Pittsburgh Steelers Saturday, August 9th. Be at the bank as the Jags take the field for the first time this season, and grab your tickets for a 7 p.m. kickoff by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you soon, Jags fans.
As a law enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Oh,
You just hate to see it. You do. Injuries. Rashawn Slater. Oh, goodness. Gone for the year. Pro Bowl left tackle for the Los Angeles Chargers. A ruptured patellar tendon. That happened today during practice. He just signed 11 days ago a 4-year, $114 million contract extension, including 92 of which is guaranteed. I know that Gardner Johnson was carried off today as well in Houston. I have not seen a recent report there, but we'll see it. There are injuries all throughout the NFL. It is a game of survival, and it is a game of attrition. How do you respond to injuries? Jacksonville's going to have them. Everyone's going to deal with them. And it's more than depth. I'm one of those who believes you cannot win with a backup quarterback in the NFL, okay? And I'm talking about win in the month of January. Even though reportedly we did see it a few years back in Philadelphia. I forget the quarterback's name and I forget the head coach's name. The head coach here, I'm well aware of. His name is Liam Cohen. And he has made the right decision to play his players coming up on Saturday night. All of his players. I want to get there momentarily. But first things first, let's go to this part of the press conference because, again, I think it's been very encouraging to Jaguars fans to see the way that this team offensively responded yesterday and certainly early on today. After the bad offensive practice on Tuesday, I did ask Liam Cohen, later this morning, was there a veteran? Did someone stand up? Or was it great coaching? Did you say something?
I did challenge them in the team meeting pretty specifically that, not every play is going to be perfect. Not every play is going to be open. We can't say that, man, we're just going to dial up every play to be open for us to have success. Somebody's got to make a play. Like, how many opportunities have we had to make one-on-ones and hadn't made them? And we're not going to just go and make them on Sundays. So kind of challenge those guys to step up a little and have more production in terms of, guys just going out and play the game, man. It's like it's your backyard. Everybody runs the same plays. Everybody in the NFL runs the same exact plays. It's just who's going to do it better, right? Who's going to go make plays when we call a zone beater and it's man, who's going to go make a play? You get a one-on-one opportunity. So I was pleased, with their response. Yeah, I was definitely pleased with the response yesterday and then started off pretty good today. And as we got younger, it got a little uglier.
Such a great answer. Brilliant question, but such a great answer. I mean, it really is. And for him to come out and say, you got to make plays, man, enough is enough is enough is enough. Dylan, you heard me all off season, right? I mean, when is this football team finally going to have elite players, really good players. And it feels like Brian Thomas Jr. entered that spectrum a year ago, but you need more of that. It's time for Trayvon Walker. I get it. 10 sacks, double digit, but it's time to become a superstar. It's time for Fourier or Louikon to get back to the who the hell would move him to the outside? Play him at middle linebacker. Watch him become a superstar. Trevor Lawrence, become a superstar. Great teams have superstars. Look at the superstars I just mentioned who are not playing here Saturday night for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's like Cohen absolutely understands it and gets it. And Dylan, I like the fact that he challenged his offensive players after that awful practice.
Yeah, 100%. And, you talked about the leadership and, you want the players to take the ownership. Last year you didn't have many leaders, and you're still kind of searching for that leader. But it's good for the head coach to do it right now, while you're still trying to search it and trying to find the identity of the team while you're still in the preseason before you start the regular season.
Tonight's show brought to you by Alexander Law Practice. I want you to log on to alexanderlawpractice.com. It's always a free call and a free consultation at 400-6600. If you have been injured in a car accident and you are hurt, you're alone, your car's a wreck, you can't get to work, you can't pay bills, pick up the phone and call Alexander Law Practice. First thing you need to know, you're going to get an immediate call back. Okay, you're going to hear from Rick Alexander. You're going to hear from lawyers at Alexander Law Practice. And then you're going to get the individualized care that you need, right? It's you. It's all about you. And they're going to put together the best possible way to see through this. And you'll never come out of pocket. I just mentioned things that are very expensive. Again, make the call. They're going to work with you through this process. Best way to do it, 400-6600. Or go to alexanderlawpractice.com. We were all wondering, everyone had a different opinion, all the members of the media that I did speak with as to whether or not it makes sense to play in this preseason game, number one, to play Trevor Lawrence, to play your starters. And, everyone has a different opinion, and I certainly respect whatever it is, the way that you do feel. I'm one of those that it still feels a little awkward with 3 preseason games. I don't completely understand the blueprint. I think it's different for every organization, whereas when we had 4 and 16, 4 preseason games, 16 regular season games, I think it was a little bit more scientific, that you knew how to handle it. This is the right move, okay? You have a totally new staff. I have, unofficially, 48 new players on their 90-man roster. Okay, that's my counting. That's not an official number. You have a new offensive coordinator. You have a new defensive coordinator. You have a new offensive scheme. You have a new defensive scheme. You have plenty of new players that are coming here for the first time and never have played a game in Jacksonville, whether it's getting used to the humidity or whatever it may be. I've always been fascinated by this, but I believe it because it has been so consistent throughout the decades. There's shape and there's football shape. There's practice and there's games. You can do whatever it is that you want, but if you're not in football shape, and I've always marveled about this because the average football play lasts, 4.5 seconds? I think of those guys who skate and go full speed in the National Hockey League where they're out there for 45 seconds, a minute 15 seconds. Anyway, they'll tell you there's a huge difference. Get used to it. Hopefully it's hot. Hopefully it's hot on Saturday. I know it's not great for you, the fans, but I'm thinking about the team only. Here we just got into what was going on 2 days ago. A very poor practice by the Jaguars offensively. You need reps. You need situations. More the better. More the better. Absolutely do it. Now, my concern has always been this. what is Pittsburgh going to do? I already gave you a list of some players who aren't going to play. I imagine more are going to come out as well. I don't necessarily believe that it's a great thing if it's your first team offense and you're carving up 2s and 3s in Pittsburgh. I think you have to have a really good understanding of what your opponent is doing. Again, you need a series, you need a couple of series, you need reps, but sooner or later, if it's competition that you're facing that is not going to be playing on Sunday in September, then it's time to sit those guys down. You understand where I'm going? And that applies on both sides of the football, offensively and defensively. But I think right now, you need to be the alpha. Even though you're a rookie coach, and even though this is a rookie organization, okay, none of this beta crap, all right? I'm tired of being the beta. Enough is enough is enough. Stand up and throw the punch. Throw the first punch. Get out there with your starting offense. Get out there with your starting defense and make some plays. And that's exactly what Liam Cohen told us they are going to do earlier today. I think it's a brilliant decision by this organization. And we're told that everything is going to be collaborated, right? They're going to sit down. They've talked to Gladstone's had his say. Baselli's had his say. Cohen has had his say. Pretty funny story how it all happened. I guess it was yesterday in the weight room. It was Robert Hainsey who walked up to Liam Cohen and said, hey, what are we doing? Are we playing? We want to play. Are we playing? So others will disagree with me. They'll say practice, practice, practice. Let another week go by and then get it done out on the road in, New Orleans. I disagree. This is your last chance here in Jacksonville before opening day. You play indoors in New Orleans. Okay, absolutely, it's going to be hot in Miami. No argument there. But I like what this team decided to do today by coming out and stating that everyone is going to play coming up on Saturday night. So not as frustrating today along the offensive line. I mean, there were 5 penalties on Tuesday. There were 2 yesterday. There was some stuff today with backups, a couple of fumbles, and a penalty here and there. But overall, I thought it was a better day for the starters. So that is the very latest there. All right, when we come back, let's get you to start to get involved with the program. The best way to do that is 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also join us on YouTube. Just go to 1010XL into the night. Want to bring in USA columnist Jarrett Bell. He has done a wonderful job for decades covering the NFL. Always love conversations with Jarrett. He took in Jaguars practice Tuesday at the Miller Electric Center, and he joins us next.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
You've got fantasy football questions. This is where you get your answers. 1010XL's Fantasy Football Draft Guide with insight from Hacker, Hayes, Fat Tony, and me, Mike Dempsey. Get the guide at 1010XL.com and on all of the 1010XL social channels.
Like a lot of guys, Jacksonville's Mitch Vandal thought he could get a better deal on his engagement ring at one of those well-known big-box corporate jewelry stores at the town center. But then he discovered locally owned Beard's Diamonds.
Beard's had by far the largest selection.
And he couldn't believe the no middleman prices at Beard's.
We were able to afford, it was probably twice the size of what she wanted, stayed within my budget. I wanted to buy her a bigger ring than she wanted to get. Kind of a win-win for everybody.
But the best part, Mitch didn't feel like a number at Beard's. He got personal one-on-one attention with zero pressure.
Some of the other stores that we did go into, they were big corporate chains, so that might have played a factor into us not really getting the service that I was looking for.
Beard's Diamonds, with no commission salespeople and owners who are right here in Jacksonville.
Keeping local dollars in Jacksonville and in the community is great.
Beard's Diamonds.
Anybody that I know, I want them to shop at Beard's. You're going to get a great experience.
At St. John's Town Center.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, the wings are fresh, the drinks are cold, and the game is always on. With 30 bold flavors, ice-cold beer, and handcrafted cocktails, there's no better place to kick back and catch every play. Escape the ordinary. Your home for sports is Hurricane Grill and Wings.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has proudly served Jacksonville from the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard. From archery to hunting and fishing, they've got the gear, service, and know-how to get you outdoor ready. Stop by their full-service archery pro shop and check out their wide selection of firearms. And while you're there, sign up for their weekly concealed weapon classes. You can find it all at greenacressporting.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hi, Jerry Bell of the USA Today. He is a National Football League columnist. He made his way through Duval. I think he took in Tuesday's practice, which was obviously the worst offensive one we've seen so far this year. Much better effort yesterday and again early today offensively for the Jags. But let's bring him in. Always one of my favorite guys to talk pro football with. Jarrett, good to have you back. How you been?
Hey, man, pretty good. Just kind of getting into the grind of the season. Nothing like going to a few training camps to knock off some rust and turn around some stories and see some people, including people like you, Rick. It was good to see you at practice the other day.
A lot of fun, and we had some good conversations, particularly about Travis Hunter. Now that you've had time to digest that effort on Tuesday, what are your feelings about the rookie this year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he just brings so much buzz, and in addition to his talent, and he's got great charisma, all of that stuff. So you want to see him succeed, but the question is whether or not it's going to happen for the long haul, and if he's going to hold up, which was the question on a college level, frankly, and he did it. And so now you go to a higher level. But the organization has embraced it, obviously, Liam Cole and everyone else involved. And so I think it's a good dynamic for them to have, especially right now when you're talking about a team that is, you know, really trying to find itself and rebuild and get a new identity and some new success, if you will. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, you travel throughout the league and talk with a lot of different teams and players on teams. What about the bullseye here? I mean, we really haven't heard an active player say anything, but do you get the sense that privately or personally behind the scenes that, a superstar coming in like this and I'm going to go both ways, that those players are going to take that personally?
The players and coaches, okay? Because remember, every week, and then really think about it from the teams that get to play them in their division twice a year. So they'll have a file building over time, right? But when you just think about how the NFL operates from week to week, the players lock in on who they've got that week, and the coaches lock in on who they've got that week. And so, there will be a target, and that's going to have to be part of the challenge for Travis and the Jaguars because it's coming. People are going to game plan against them. And I think part of your question is, would people be prone to cross the line and, do something to make a statement? I don't get that sense. Obviously, nobody has come out and said anything like that.
Okay.
But
Mm-hmm.
that'll be the other thing that, you're watching. Hey, everybody's watching Travis Hunter. One of the cool things is that the beat writers with the Times Union and ESPN.com, they log his snaps every practice. It's like, okay,
yeah,
he had 18 snaps on offense and 12 on defense, so, you're not going to miss it. So if somebody takes a cheap shot at Travis Hunter, we know the NFL watches every play.
Right.
But it would be, explosive from a news standpoint.
Yeah. And you know what, I really think comes into play here is that there are fewer plays in the NFL than there are in college. I mean, you don't have any Oklahoma Sooners, 4 plays, 80 yards, taking a minute off the clock. I mean, these are long-established drives. It feels like there's a little bit more of an opportunity to catch your breath. You still have to be in fantastic shape. But, again, plays per game is limited here compared to the college game.
That's something that Deion Sanders, of all people, told me when we talked about it earlier this year. It's like, okay, how's he going to be able to do that? And he talked about the game, and the game has changed. There's a lot more space, especially a guy being, out on the edge as a wide receiver and a cornerback. But that was something that Deion said, and it really made me think. And, who's more credible than Deion Sanders, right? And he said, hey, there's more time to catch your breath. That's what you said. There's time to catch your breath behind plays. And Deion thinks that that's more the case in the NFL than it is on the college level.
Jarrett Bell, our guest. He is an NFL columnist with the USA Today. Final moment here with Jarrett Bell. All right, it's a bunch of firsts around here. Tony Baselli, first-time executive vice president. James Gladstone, 34 years of age, first-time GM, first-time head coach in Cohen, 39, first-time offensive and defensive coordinator. Usually when something like that happens, there are mistakes made, and, you take baby steps as opposed to going for everything, right out of the gate. What do you believe here, Jerry? What did you see, and what do you believe about this very young staff?
Yeah, that's an obvious part of the equation for the Jags is that they are so fresh at, all of the key leadership positions in the organization. And you're right, there are going to be issues that pop up. There's going to be adversity, be it physical stuff with injuries or, things that, are just inherent to football, to off-the-field drama, to internal debates on which way they go. All these things are, TBD, right, in terms of how they handle it. So that's all part of it. And, anytime you've got a rookie head coach, you're going to have some of that in any event, right? You're going to have that. But now you're talking about a rookie GM and Tony Baselli, Mr. Jaguar, the franchise guy. It's new for him, even with all the experience he has. I think Baselli is a great resource, though, for them to have, be it if Baselli was in his first year or his 10th year, because he's bringing all that knowledge that he has from his, Hall of Fame playing career to his broadcasting career to his, insight just in, watching the Jaguars since the franchise was established. So they'll be able to tap into that. But what is that going to be worth? I mean, it's worth a lot, but case to case, there's going to be some stuff that Tony Baselli even hasn't dealt with, as an executive, just because he's in that new spot. And, we saw John Lynch really be successful in jumping from the broadcast booth to an executive GM role with the San Francisco 49ers. But the difference with Lynch was that, he had a coach, and his coach was a first-time coach in Kyle Shanahan, but, he had a coach who they aligned with. So I think that's all part of, all of this as well. I'm not saying that they won't align in Jacksonville, but I just think that all of that's going to, have to be proven.
Yeah. It's certainly, Jacksonville's under the microscope. A team is usually not under the microscope after you win 4 games, but that's exactly where this organization is. So, that's a positive. Yeah.
Hey, Rick.
Yeah.
They were under the microscope the last time I was at Jaguars training camp for a different reason, too. Urban Meyer. Right? So this is my first time back in Jacksonville since then. So, it just kind of goes to show that you can get on the map for many different reasons at both ends of the extreme.
No doubt.
Yeah, they'll be fun to watch. And, I'm really excited to see what Trevor Lawrence is going to be able to do in terms of progress with Liam Cohen, who we've heard so much about. Has such a great reputation for working with quarterbacks. So, we'll see.
Hey, Jared, always a lot of fun. I know I'll see you throughout the course of the year and have you back on. Always a pleasure, sir.
All right, my man. You take care. Thanks a lot.
There he goes, Jarrett Bell, NFL columnist, USA Today. Yeah, I was going to ask about Trevor, but that, again, he was here for the Jaguars' worst offensive day. He really, didn't get a great look, unfortunately, at what the Jaguars' offense has done. As I said at the beginning of the program, I think Trevor Lawrence has had 10 really good days and 12 practices. And Tuesday was arguably the worst. I don't know for him, the entire offense. But he has bounced back. And again, another day today. I think somewhere around 14 of 20, 14 to 21, something like that today. A couple of touchdowns. As a matter of fact, let me come back and tell you a little bit more on the other side here about actually what did transpire today. Travis Hunter was human today. Okay, actually had a drop today. So, I thought it was a very intriguing practice, considering it was kind of in the mode of a walkthrough. Something I think you would expect right before a game in the season. Obviously, with no pads and no hitting, but that is that. Okay, so thank you to Jarrett Bell. Also, I want to get you involved in the show. 641-1010 text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Let's welcome those watching as well on YouTube. Liam Cohen didn't tell us exactly what would happen as far as the starters. Apparently, he told Kay Adams that starters will play about a quarter on Saturday. Saw Kay Adams today. And, those who surround her. She had like 8 bodyguards. No, I'm kidding. She just had like 3 producers and 2 engineers and someone who sets up equipment and someone who takes down equipment and someone who does her hair and someone who does makeup. And it was awesome. It was good to see. But apparently that is the very latest as well. All right, much more to do.
He used to lay the lumber on the field.
No, I'm not a quarterback, but I like eating quarterbacks for breakfast.
Now he lays his opinions on Jaguars Today. Tom McManus. Fridays on 1010XL. Open by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Rest-A-Pros.
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Rest-A-Pros.
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestaProsNEFlorida.com. That's RestaProsNEFlorida.com.
Rest the pros. Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true, quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing, no shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, or Beaver Mitsubishi in St. Augustine. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Your yard starting to look a little like a jungle? Well, it might be time for a little TLC. Or how about RTC, Russell Tree Care? At Russell Tree Care, they give your trees the perfect haircut. Whether it's trimming or removing, they'll make sure your yard looks its best, all while keeping safety as a top priority. Call Russell Tree Care today and let them take care of your trees. Russell Tree Care, 844-4Mr. Wood. That's 844-467-9663. Or visit RussellTreeCareLLC.com today. Your trees will thank you.
This is Joe C. from XL Primetime and stoked to crank up the 9 after 5 once again at the Golf Club of Southampton. Every Wednesday, a little after 5, the gang at Southampton will be hosting us with a new game, and I'm inviting you to be a part of it. Now, through the summer stretch, break up the week with a little hump day fun every Wednesday. Call 287-PLAY to get on the tee sheet. There'll be food afterwards and prizes, including playing for a membership at the Golf Club of Southampton. Call 287-PLAY and hit the tee with Joe C.
Tailgaters parking season passes are on sale now. Secure your Jaguar season parking today. Enjoy indoor restrooms, a full-service bar and grill, access 4 hours before kickoff. Visit tailgatersparking.com and book your space today.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Clean and Freaks at Zero Res. Great time of the year to get your house zero resified. And right now, you can get your entire home clean from Jacksonville's Ultimate Carpet Cleaner. You'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135. Plus, they're throwing in a free hallway and take $100 off the air duct cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com or call 287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
I-9 Sports covers the First Coast with all kinds of sports for kids ages 3 to 17. Fall and winter registration is open right now, like girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of co-ed programs in the Tri-County area to keep your kids active. And being part of a team creates great camaraderie and commitment. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay, sign up now for the fall and winter. It's all at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. That's i9sports.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, thanks to Jared Bell. I enjoyed that. Hopefully you did as well. If you have not heard, Jacksonville is going to play everyone on Saturday night. That includes their starters. Kay Adams, apparently from Liam Cohen. Cohen did say that they'll go about a quarter. He didn't say exactly what the time would be when he met with us after practice today. It was day 12 at the Miller Electric Center. He also stated that Travis Hunter would go both ways. So that's cool. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch on Saturday. Today also brought back the return of Brian Thomas Jr., which individually, I thought he had a really good day today. He had a couple of passes in teamwork, including very late in practice. And, overall, that's good to see. Still expecting the chemistry to improve there between Lawrence and Thomas Jr. Getting a lot of stuff on backs here today. And actually a very good question just came in. Shouldn't say actually, because just about all of the questions that I get from you folks are are really good. Let me see if I can find. Here it is. 4954 says, Ballou, how can you judge backs in an unpadded practice? Well, let me tell you, I have always said forever that I won't talk about offense and defensive line if they're not hitting because it's useless. I think it's different with backs, all right? And what I saw today was regardless of what the situation was, they were getting through layers. They were getting through the defensive line. They were getting through the linebackers. They were running to the contain. And ETN had maybe his best practice of the year. Tank Bigsby had some great runs. My guest coming up next hour, Bayshell Tootin, third-round pick. Again, deep into the defensive backfield. I've always looked for burst. I've always looked for what a running back does as far as vision and maybe patience and obviously wiggle, you know, the ability to make others miss. It's not a perfect science, but at least I believe you can form some sort of an opinion there with a running back like you can with a wide receiver, but you can't with the OL and you can't with the DL. At least that's always been my belief, but that's a good question. And it leads me to this one other note, too, that I love about these 5 backs, and that includes, Jaquindon Jackson, who's a monster, okay? I mean, this guy's a monster. This guy, I'm not going to say he's Earl Campbell, but he is a legit 6'1.5", 240 pounds or 235 pounds. He is absolutely, if they do, if they can do some of this pony offense, which we keep hinting around, will they possibly do that with a 2-back set? You know, him in front of maybe Allen Jr. at goal line. It just could be. Imagine that. An undrafted rookie free agent and a 7th round rookie free agent at goal line. I mean, I'm not going to bet on it, but it could possibly happen. They finish the play. I've talked about this forever. That's the one thing that always stood out to me about Maurice Jones-Drew. When Maurice Jones-Drew was here, it didn't matter where they practiced, where they scrimmaged. If he took the ball, even if it was from their own 20, he was going 80 yards, and he was finishing the play. All 5 of these backs do it. This is almost like a copycat grouping, and you'll hear a little bit about that when I run the interview of Bayshell Tootin coming up next hour. But I'm a big fan of that. Finally, with the backs, we haven't seen tackling yet. And that's huge in this entire process, right? It's also very important as to why Jacksonville is going to play their starters on Saturday night. They've yet to have any tackling. You're 12 practices in. You're nearly 3 weeks through training camp. It's petrifying. You know, we just told you about Rashawn Slater, gone for the year in L.A. These guys go down all the time, but it's still football. I mean, you still have to go out and play the game. So that's another really big part of all of this. Even if it's dominated once we really get into the game, you know, midway through the second quarter, whatever. If it's all backups and backups and backups, well, a lot of those backup players are fighting for roster spots or trying to move up the depth chart and maybe win a job. So that whole tackling, Emily, scenario is going to be very important. I think element is the word that I, in fact, was looking for. I told you, folks, it was a tough week to give up drinking. I wasn't lying about it. It was. We got another hour. I'm fired up for it. You? 641-1010 text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Welcome to those watching on YouTube. 1010XL into the night.
Take Jacksonville with you.
There's no place like home.
Listen to 1010XL away from home.
Oh, but anyway, Toto, we're home. Home.
Download the 1010XL and XL 92.5 FM apps for free on Apple and Android devices.
Make a statement as summer winds down with luxury. Experience the art of progress at Jenkins Genesis of Northeast Jacksonville. Come test drive the sleek and powerful G70 or the versatile and refined GV80 SUV that's designed to elevate your journey. Enjoy exclusive offers and flexible financing. Showroom on Atlantic Boulevard, or learn more at genesisofnortheastjacksonville.com for all life's journeys. Jenkins Genesis of Northeast Jacksonville. Welcome to the family.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't believe it happened to me. Reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 7th, 2007, Barry Bonds hits home run 756, breaking Hank Aaron's long-standing Major League record.
Calling all poker players. The Best Bet Summer Swing Series kicks off August 18th at Best Bet Orange Park with a $200 no-limit hold'em and a $100,000 guarantee. Next stop, Best Bet St. Augustine with a $150,000 guaranteed poker tournament. Then wrap it up Labor Day weekend in Jacksonville with a massive $300,000 guarantee. Play all 3 events and swing for big winnings. Get all the details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
New and pre-owned firearms are always in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimbar, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Looking for your new favorite hangout this football season? Try Voodoo Brewing Company in the heart of San Marco. Locally owned and community-focused, Voodoo Brewing serves up award-winning beers, scratch-made upscale pub fare, and laid-back vibes where everyone's welcome. For live music, trivia nights, and all the football action this season, make Voodoo Brewing Company Jacksonville your new favorite spot on San Marco Square.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
It's hurricane season. Protect your home with 904 Gutters with a Z. That's right. Z as in zone defense for your home. Water damage hits hard. 904 Gutters with a Z hits back harder. Search 904 Gutters with a Z and make the right call.
Maxed out on credit cards? Struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Moving a little bit closer to Saturday night, as a matter of fact. We're less than 48 hours away. I think the Jaguars should come out the Led Zeppelin. Something to wake them up, right?
Apparently, LaQuint Allen's going to have a whole playlist playing pregame. You want to know a couple of the artists?
I do, but, for 18 games last year, the Jaguars came out at 1 o'clock. They came out to Pink Floyd The Wall. And because they played like they were stoned offensively. Could not pick up yards, could not pick up first downs, certainly could not score. A little something electrifying. I think this thing's going to turn around, by the way. I do. I think that the energy has been there and that the coaching and the play calls will hopefully lead to field goals and touchdowns at 1 p.m. on Sunday. Yeah, give me his what's on his walk.
So his pregame playlist, I don't know if this is going to be played at the stadium, but this is what he listens to. Number one, you got NBA Youngboy.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got G Herbo.
Right.
Lil Papa.
Mm-hmm.
Lil Durk. And then 5, you got Meek Mill.
How about Lil Steven? You going to play any Lil Steven?
No Lil Steven.
Okay. Good stuff. Look forward to it. Yeah, I mean, and listen, those players get hyped with the music. I mean, I remember the days of no music.
That sucks.
Coughlin, you think he was playing music? Yeah, college and pro. I mean, first of all, back then, stadiums didn't have the technology to do it. Practice fields, for crying out loud.
Or it would probably peak. Like you couldn't play it too loud, so you could barely hear it.
Not sure. The return of Brian Thomas Jr. today. Again, if you're joining us for the first time, they are going to play everyone on Saturday night. Don't know for how long. Travis Hunter's going to play both ways. Very good day for the backs. Trevor Lawrence, somewhere in the neighborhood of 14 to 21, started really, really hot today. Either 7 or 7 or 8 or 8. Threw a couple of touchdowns. Parker Washington, once again, with an extension today. This kid makes a play every single practice. Parker Washington. I remember taking some texts over the summer, can you trade Parker Washington? I'm thinking, what are you really going to get for Parker Washington? This kid's settled in. He's going to have a big year. Hopefully he remains the fourth wide receiver. Obviously, we know why, because it would be injuries if not. And, the chemistry continues to build between Lawrence and Brown. A couple of more balls today. A touchdown today by Danby Brown. And it just feels like these guys have worked together for a long period of time. I mean, I say this truthfully. It feels like Danby Brown and Travis Hunter are much more acclimated with Trevor Lawrence than Brian Thomas Jr. But again, I thought it was a better day for Brian Thomas Jr., who, of course, did miss yesterday because he was sick. Trevor today unloaded a few. There was one down the sideline that was attempted for Travis Hunter, and he dove, and he just barely got a fingertip on it, but it was slightly overthrown by Trevor Lawrence. There was also a play today. It feels like Trevor has gone after Jordan Lewis a little bit in camp. And, there was a ball today where he went for Travis Hunter and a magnificent PBU by Lewis, another pass breakup by Jordan Lewis, who, again, it's a broken record. Kind of like Parker Washington, even more with Jordan Lewis. I think if you were to poll those who have been to most practices and really paid attention, you can go there and have a social hour or a social couple hours and do all that. I'm talking about really, really pay attention, okay? Jordan Lewis would probably be ranked as the top defensive player so far in camp. I think it would be him just over Trayvon Walker. Parker Washington's been outstanding, no doubt about it. But he made that play today, and then we saw a high ball where it was intended for Thomas Jr. and Tyson Campbell went up and was able to make the pass breakup. So I know that there's a conflict of interest here because I'm with you. I'm offense. I want touchdowns. I want to see that touchdown to Hunter. I want to see that touchdown to Thomas Jr. But on the flip side, you're getting much better play out of your defensive backs. And there's a couple of examples right there. Hunter did have a drop. I think it's the second drop of camp. He's human. He still is. I mean, I think I read somewhere today this was maybe Hunter's not most dazzling practice of the year, and maybe you can even say worst practice of the year. I'm not using that word. I know I read it somewhere earlier today. The kid's human, man. He put the penny on again today. So we consistently have seen all week offense and defense, and he's going to do both of play both of those positions coming up on Saturday night. I said it was late in practice, but some may believe that I've been beating up Thomas Jr. a little bit too much, which is honestly hilarious to me. But I am reactive if you're asking or you're pointing something out. So I want to give another positive here. And this is even more on Trevor than it is on Thomas Jr. But Trevor's done a really good job in camp rolling out. And I remember talking about this during day one of camp. It was either day one or day two of camp. When Trevor rolled out in that situation, that would have been to his right. And he threw a perfect ball to Thomas Jr., who dropped it. It was contested, but he dropped it. I remember talking about it later on the program. Today, a similar route, albeit actually, it wasn't a similar route. It was a deeper route, and instead it was, cutting towards the middle part of the field, where the one he dropped way back a couple of weeks ago was more of a sideline route. This was perfectly thrown, and the reception was made. So we're seeing Trevor Lawrence now in this new offense roll out both, to his strength, which is to the right side as a right-handed quarterback, but we're also seeing him go to his left and throw across his body, which frankly is petrifying, right? But he's done it, and he's done it with some success. So that happened a little bit earlier today. I did ask Jordan Lewis, because this remains a situation that we're all trying to figure out, right? I mean, the blow of Buster Brown hurt. Jarian Jones certainly has had a very good camp. He's battling for that starting cornerback position. We know that Jordan Lewis was brought in here to be the nickel once they go to that scheme. But what about when it's a base defense, right? When it's a 4-3 and 4 members of your secondary. I asked him earlier today if he expected to be the starter.
Whatever coach wants. I'm a football player, so whatever coach wants me to do, I'll go do it.
Like to do that? Like that opportunity?
I don't mind it. I want to go play. I want to make plays. That's it. Wherever I can find myself on the field to go make plays, I want to do it. So it don't matter if they line me up at linebacker. I go out there and give my all to go make some plays.
So there's a lot to read into that, and sometimes I overdo it, but here goes. That's leadership right there. That is. I'll do whatever the coach wants me to do. I'll never forget the first question I ever asked Travis Hunter after a practice. How are you going to keep weight on in this town, and what is your ideal weight to play your rookie season? He looked right at me and said, my weight is whatever the coach wants it to be. And I was like, that is brilliant. I mean, that is absolutely outstanding. And you look at these young guys. You look at Jarian Jones, who just absolutely cannot say enough about Jordan Lewis. Lewis has been really special. He has. And again, I wasn't thrilled with the signing. My thought was, this team's rebuilding. Why are you signing a 30-year-old safety? Right? He'll be 30 at the end of the month. Well, I see why. I don't think it's between him and Brown have both far and away been the two best free agents so far, right? It's pretty tough to accurately grade that just on training camp. But I just did. All right, we got much more to do. Let's hear from the rookie. Let's hear from Bayshell Tootin. All right, he was slowed a little bit over the weekend with a hamstring. It was tightness. He talks about that, but he gives us his overall view on how things have gone and what's it like to be a part of this running back group. We'll talk with the rookie out of Vatech. He joins us on the other side.
Get a look behind the throw with Denny Thompson.
Yeah, I want to tell you what's really happening at the quarterback position.
Denny Thompson is the quarterback whisperer. Friday mornings on The Drill, revved up by George Moore Chevrolet and Tyson Sound and Security on 1010XL.
Summer's winding down, and Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville has great deals. Cruise on the roadways and highways in a stylish new Tucson, pack the family into a spacious Santa Fe, or explore our selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. Find hot deals on Hyundais. Backed by our exclusive nationwide lifetime warranty, Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville.com. Visit us on Atlantic Boulevard. For all life's journeys, Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville is here. Welcome to the family. See dealer for details.
Jags fans, a new Everbank Performance account could be your ticket to London this October. The Everbank London Getaway Experience. One lucky winner and a guest get round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and tickets to see the Jags play in London. Everbank.com/London for official rules. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Everbank London Getaway sweeps entry period 7/28/25 to 9/5/25. Enter and get official rules and details at everbank.com/London.
If you miss an interview, it'll be waiting for you on demand.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Search where you find podcasts. And at 1010XL.com. Trained by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
After an accident, you may have an x-ray that looks normal, but you're still in pain. That's because soft tissue injuries like sprains and tears don't show up on x-rays. And if an insurance company doesn't see it, they may not believe you're hurt.
When they don't take your pain seriously, we fight back. We know doctors who are experts in diagnosing soft tissue injuries. They can help us prove that your pain is real, and we'll seek to get you paid for all of your future medical expenses.
Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, got a minute?
Always. What's on your mind?
This time of year, my air conditioner is running non-stop. Hot all day, hot all night. It has to run constantly just to keep up.
Well, that's what they do.
But if something happens to it in the middle of a 2-week heat wave, I'm in trouble, Jason. I can't wait 3 days or 2 days or even the next day for service. If you can't get someone here today, I'm sweating by tonight. What if it breaks, Jason?
You call me, pal. That's what we do. Bueller Air and Plumbing.
But you're probably swamped with calls from everyone else's AC that ran nonstop and then broke in a heat wave, so they called you because that's what you do.
But we always have room for an emergency. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we have techs standing by because we know these things happen.
So I don't need to worry. Wow. That time you calmed me down without even using the sunglasses.
Oh, I was reaching for them.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Here's your 1010XL community calendar of local events and nonprofit groups helping people here at home.
Shuffle up and deal for a cause. Let's go all in to help others out. Join the Hold'em for Life poker tournament coming up September 20th at Blessed Trinity Parish Hall. Every hand helps the Women's Help Center support expectant mothers and newborns.
Find out how you can be part of the cure for blood cancer at the Light the Night Walk at ViStar Ballpark November 22nd. Take the first step at lightthenight.org.
Dreams Come True is a local wish-granting organization giving dreams and special times to local children battling life-threatening illnesses. Find out how you can help at dreamscometrue.org.
City Rescue Mission has been providing food, clothing, and love for over 70 years to the homeless in Jacksonville. If someone you know is struggling, learn more about the City Rescue Mission at crmjax.org.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jacksonville's going to play them all on Saturday night. Pittsburgh, not so much. Mike Tomlin has said there'll be no Aaron Rodgers, no Jalen Ramsey, no DK Metcalf, no TJ Watt, no Cam Hayward, no Jalen Warren, no Darius Slay, no Joey Porter Jr. More to come, but that is the report. And different looks at things. I mean, yeah, those players, the first three I mentioned, Rodgers, Ramsey, and Metcalf, are all new. But they're also grizzled veterans, right? This is a different deal here in town. Brand new organization, brand new offensive and defensive scheme. Reps is huge. The ability to get out there and play is huge. There's really no other way to say it. All right, let's get to the Rook. Let's do that. Michelle Tootin, man, I couldn't stop really talking about him early on. And we know he can flat fly. I spoke with him during mini camp. We had a conversation about hanging on to the football then. And, so I didn't ask him about that here. And to credit him, he had that fumble during day one during the offseason, and he has not coughed up the ball since, as far as I know. He was slow with the hamstring, but he has now been able to battle back. And again, a little bit earlier today, over at the Miller Electric Center, I caught up with the rookie tailback out of Vatech.
Now, Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors takes you in the locker room.
Right, day 12, Miller Electric Center. Nice breeze out here today for you guys.
Yeah, it felt pretty good out here today.
Yeah, weather-wise, though, feels like it maybe dodged the bullet. It feels really comfortable. Maybe the best practice climate of the year.
Yeah, I would say it's been the coolest practice so far. I don't know how the weather is out here, so I don't know how many more we got coming up, but it did feel nice today.
What's it been like navigating this heat? I mean, obviously at Vatech, it could get warm, but just the off-season and now 3 weeks into training camp.
It's pretty tough coming in. Like you said, I'm from New Jersey. I went to Virginia Tech in North Carolina, A&T. So the temperature out here was definitely hotter. But I think, coming out here, like rookie mini camp, and then, rolling out, I think I'm pretty acclimated to it. I've been here for a pretty good time, so you kind of get used to it.
I thought it was a really good day overall for the running backs in group work, 11 on 11. Your thought as to how today went?
I think today as a group we did pretty well. There's still some things we can go in, hit the film room and correct and fix. But that just comes with the game in our position. We always got things to work on. So I think today we came out, we did a great job. We worked. I think we creased some of the gaps we were supposed to, but we have to look at the film and correct it.
How are you feeling? I know a little bit of a setback with the hamstring. I watched you. It appears that you're, back where you want to be, but how was that whole process?
It was just a tight hamstring. A lot of stretching I had to do, massaging. A little hiccup, bump in the road, but, we're through it now. I'm back out there feeling better than ever.
Are you the fastest guy in the NFL?
I can't speak on that right now, but my confidence speaks for itself. So whoever wants to line it up, it'll be fun. We'll see.
There's speed and there's game speed. I think you have both.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
I think, my 40 speaks for itself, and then I think my film on my open field speed is pretty evident.
What's this group like with the five of you? I define it as really being hungry. It seems like no matter who gets the ball, the feeling is that there's a lot to prove, knowing that there's other guys that want that football as well.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. The room is filled with a bunch of dogs, guys that's going to go in and, give it 100% effort and do the best to help the team win and the offense roll. So I think that's just the kind of room we have, and, we're looking to, make the team successful.
Last one for you. What's it going to be like Saturday night, your first ever NFL game, albeit it is a preseason contest, but it's here in Duval. Just your overall excitement for that particular scenario.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see, like you said, first NFL game. So I'm just, looking forward to, achieving that milestone for me. And just coming out and, seeing all the fans come out and support in an NFL stadium. I'm definitely excited for it.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks.
Bayshell Tootin, rookie out of Tech. And I'm sure there are similar situations around the league, but if you were to take these five physically, and are you old enough to remember like the superstars and stuff like? You ever watch that? I think O.J. Simpson might have been like the broadcaster. Remember that? They're bringing all these athletes from different sports, and they do like not a decathlon because that would take way too long, but they do obstacle tracks and do different events. You remember any of that?
No, I don't remember none of that.
That was like Wild World of Sports stuff. But, I mean, these five are just, iron sharpens iron, right? Put together young men. And, every time I look at Tootin, I'm like, his lower body reminds me of Maurice Jones-Drew. Not quite as big, okay? But certainly there is a mixture of power and speed. He may be the fastest guy in the league. He was the fastest guy coming out, the running back position this year. Some say he's legitimately, a 4.28 or something like that. But there's speed and there's game speed. How many players have we seen over the years who aren't fast, but they have incredible gains? Look at Michael Irvin. Look at Jerry Rice. Look at Emmitt Smith. There's been player after player after player that, you can fly. That's one thing when you're in a T-shirt and shorts. Well, what do you do with pads on and when the game is actually taking place? But this, to me, is the one position group that you could tell me about 3 or 4 different things, and I would believe you. And this is what I mean by this. You could tell me 2 stories at quarterback, and I believe both. You could tell me 1 or 2 stories at wide receiver, and I believe it. Tight end, even with the offensive line problems, okay? Perceived problems, or maybe ongoing problems. So there's only a couple of stories there. Running back, you're a Hollywood writer, you can make a case for all 5 of these guys. And let's be honest about Jackson. That's very limited. He's clearly number 5, and if they go to a pony offense, does he become a fullback, help out around goal line? I don't know. Liam Cohen ran some of that last year in Tampa Bay, maybe. There are people right now who believe this. LaQuinton Allen Jr. is your best goal line back. LaQuinton Allen Jr. is your best in pass protection. Quentin Allen Jr. has the best hands on the team. That's what some believe. I still think ETN has the best hands on the team. This kid had a great practice today, ETN. Running and catching. Such a likable guy, and I still don't completely understand why he's on the other side of things for some Jaguars fans. My guess is this. We can say whatever we want about Tootin, Allen Jr., and Jackson. I still believe on opening day against Carolina, it's Tank and it's ETN. That's what you're going to get. Those are going to be when we look at the snap count, that's going to be the primary 2. Now, does Allen automatically get in as a third down back? We shall see. But again, we're 3 weeks into camp now with a game on Saturday night, an off day tomorrow. And I still believe out of any position group, and that includes defense, that is the one that you could write several different stories about, and I would believe. So only time will tell. 0882 says, Ballou, can we assume the better the defense does play, it'll help Trevor's game get better? There's no question about that. Every sense of it. If the defense can force 3 and outs you're going to get better field positioning. If the defense can get takeaways where they only had 8 a year ago, you're going to get much better field positioning. Regulars who listen to the program, I do appreciate it, but I give you these numbers all the time. They were last a year ago in starting field position, right? They only had 6 possessions all year where Jacksonville got the ball 1st and 10 on their opponent's side of the 50-yard line. They are among the worst in the NFL when it comes to time of possession. So if your defense can create 3 and outs, if your defense can force takeaways and make big plays, what's that going to do? It's going to put the ball right back to you offensively. Hopefully you can establish some long drives where you take a lot of clock. And while you're doing that, you tire out your opponent defensively. It's a huge part of all this. I mean, just think about that. Just think about even 2 years ago when they really struggled, they still had 27 takeaways. They just led the NFL in turnovers that year, so it really didn't really didn't register. You can go back to the year prior to that as well. I want to say Jacksonville went consecutive years where they had 27 and 27 takeaways. Then they went to only 8 takeaways. They did have a 9th in special teams. But to answer your question, no doubt. I mean, how cool would it be? Seriously. Instead of kicking off because you gave up, a field goal or a touchdown, or allowing them to have a significant drive where they kick it and you're starting it, at the 10-yard line or 15-yard line, you got to go the length of the field, to have it in a different manner where all of a sudden, you got the ball at your own 40, or dare I say, you got the ball at midfield. It changes the entire complexion of your football team. So, yada, 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 yada. Ballou, it's a double-edged sword for a coach to dictate a player's weight. Ask Ryan Nielsen, 4704. Now, worthy of a rim shot there. No doubt about it. This group has lost weight, though. Everyone except for Mason Smith, who I watched again today. At least he's out there working, grinding. I mean, I saw Brown in the corner working, Buster. I saw McLeod over in the corner working. Who was the other defensive guy that is out right now? Trying to remember.
Ransall?
Yes, thank you. It was those 3 working. And then Mason Smith, off to the side. Eric Armstead, I don't know where you are. Has he applied for a job here? Do we know? I mean, I got to be careful. I got to be careful with former players. I mean, they just come up and snatch my job. And listen, I got mouths to feed, including mine, which is really, really large. I don't know where Eric Armstead is. Just don't know. Something's going to happen sooner or later, right? A story's going to pop up. And, right now it's kind of scary because you look at him and you're like, does he begin the year on IR? I just mentioned other guys. You can't have Mason Smith and Eric Armstead both starting the year on IR. Buster Brown, a question about IR. It makes you wonder just a little bit. And again, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. But, yeah, that is the very latest. Unfortunately, nothing new to report on Eric Armstead. All right, let's continue with your questions. A couple of ways that you can join us. 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also get us tonight on YouTube at 1010XL Into the Night.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Send your favorite person a sweet summer surprise today from Kuhn Flowers, creating memories for over 70 years. This is JJ, and it's just so easy. Order online at kuhnflowers.com, Jacksonville and Ponte Vedra.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to Pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com, Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
David here with Royal Pest Services. It's back. Our summer Centricon Termite Special. New installs begin as low as $249. And if you have existing Centricon, but your renewal is through the roof, we can transfer you to Royal at no cost. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free estimate.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to I-9 Sports with fall and winter registration open right now, including girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 for a discount.
A new era of women's professional soccer has arrived. The Gainbridge Super League, redefining the game for the next generation. Sporting Jacks, the first ever pro women's team on the First Coast. Be there for history. Secure your tickets now at sportingjacks.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, the Duval Rundown. That is 3 days a week, including tomorrow at 9:04. Myself along with Hayes Carline. So for 20 minutes or so, the very latest on the Jaguars. That'll be tomorrow morning. You can get it on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. All right, we do have 3 preseason games going on tonight. You just sent me something. Anthony Richardson sacked, and now he appears to have an arm injury.
Yeah, I think if it's his hand or a finger. I saw, what was it from ESPN, Stephen Holder appears to be looking at his right hand. Richardson is on the sideline trying to grip a ball now. So there was a defensive end, he came free. Somebody didn't do their job up front, and he got rocked.
Yeah.
And you think that it was kind of a concussion, and apparently it was his hand. So we'll see. Daniel Jones is in right now, but geez, man, that guy can't catch a break.
Yeah, I did the Dan Dockett show last week in Indianapolis, and they're just so down on everything about that organization, including Chris Ballard, the GM, and certainly the situation here with Anthony Richardson. I mean, he's going back and asking me what was he like in Florida, on a consistent basis. And it's, I think the feeling is, listen, when this guy's healthy and he's ready to go, he can be a very good football player. But, where's the trust level right now? Where is it that Jacksonville's going to see Anthony Richardson in both games this year? If I was a betting man, I would bet there's no way that is the case.
I'd definitely bet less than 50%. Couldn't stay healthy in the NFL, can't stay healthy in college, even in high school. But we all know about his talent. And, he was drafted as high as he was because of, how great of a person he is. That's why he was drafted third. I think it was third overall in that draft. And, every football coach thinks they can fix whatever the previous coach couldn't fix. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be the case. I mean, if he can play in 12 games this year, I feel like that would be really good for him.
Rick, does anyone look lost out there? You know what? That's a fair question. And the answer to that is no. I think they've done a nice job with the 90. I think they brought in guys that look very competitive. All right. There's been years where you've seen guys that you just know there's no way that they should be out there. Okay. And, that's really not, it would have been easy to say the kid who went back over to Europe or something like that. But I think for the most part, the 90, it's a pretty good group. They'll set a 53. I think there's a chance that they could add an offensive or defensive lineman. If I was going to go waiver wire here, I'd probably set it at like 1 and a hook. Therefore, in my opinion, they sign 1 or 2 players off of waivers. And I think you'll see as well that practice squad is going to be absolutely filled with the guys that they have here that they're developing. Now, through their scouting and what have you, they may be in love with a handful of players. And if they get cut from other organizations, they could always go in that direction. 8889 Blue, what's up with Devon Hamilton? Is he returning to his former monster abilities? I made the mistake of, I think, really overdoing it for Devon Hamilton 2 years ago and last year. 2 years ago, he had the back injury. I thought he was clearly the best defensive lineman that year in training camp. Did the same thing a year ago, and then it got away from him during the regular season. He was an animal. It was earlier in the week. He just completely blew back Luke Fortner, smacked him to the ground during one-on-one drills. I don't want to do it for a third year in a row. So I'm just going to kind of wait and see. But obviously, with everything that's going on with Armstead and Mason Smith, I mean, you need Devon Hamilton to have a big-time year. And there is also a phenomenal opportunity for someone else to step up, whether it's Jordan Jefferson, Tyler Lacey, or anyone else. What's up with Ventrell Miller? I haven't noticed him as much. It's not for the lack of observing, but again, there's so many guys out there. There's only so much that you can watch, and there's no doubt. Right now, with the emergence of what you're seeing with Lloyd, okay, he has really made a difference. Now, I know there have been times before where we have talked about this, where he has been a very good practice player. When you look at Devin Lloyd, and it hasn't transpired in games. I guess someone came out with something the other day saying the best combination, the best linebacking core in the NFL right now is with a low-accounting Lloyd, right? So good against the run. What are they going to offer against the pass? And all of a sudden, there's a little bit of depth here. I still love Ventrell Miller. I've said at least twice now, maybe 3 times, because of the way that this league works. Don't be surprised in a year if we're talking about starting linebackers for the Jaguars being Ventrell Miller and Jack Kaiser. The other outside linebacker position is kind of intriguing to me. There are some who have Yasir Abdullah not making the club. He was listed first team on the unofficial depth chart. Then you have Dennis Gardeck, who just got taken off the PUP list and is battling back from the torn ACL. But no, I'm a big fan of Ventrell Miller. There's a guy right there, Ventrell Miller. He's a good football player, okay? When he's on the field, he makes plays. And you just got to find a way to keep that guy healthy. 86-74, Rick, one of the things that trips me out about an Armstead story is the guy's Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Supposed to be someone whose character is outstanding, man, I haven't seen outside of what he's done, charity. Thinking about someone like Calais Campbell as a person and character, if you're in the locker room in every aspect, he was thought of, I believe, to be Calais Campbell Part 2. That is not the case. All right. I've had conversations with Eric Armstead. I had one with him a couple of weeks ago where he, I don't even know how to describe it. Got a young 21-year-old intern, Brady, filming it. And he even said to me after, he's like, man, what's going on with him? I was like, I don't know. He's not happy. He's not good. There's something going on. And it disappoints me because I heard from impeccable sources that during the offseason, he was spot on. He was an A+. He took everything. And he saw, as far as the leadership and all of this and all of that, Calais Campbell was such a great football player, and he was also such a great leader. But, you have to remember something, especially when you get to football players that are older. Okay? There were those in the locker room who did not listen to Calais Campbell. There were those in the locker room who kind of laughed at Calais Campbell as being grandfatherly. Okay? Telvin Smith, Jalen Ramsey, Colvin. Who was the kid out of Alabama, the safety?
Rodney Harrison.
Was it Rodney Harrison who went off to the Cleveland Browns? I think you're right there. A Tallahassee kid, maybe even too. And he was here for 3 or 4 years. And Ronnie Harrison. Anyway, the name.
Rodney Harrison. Yeah.
Yeah. That group. They weren't going to listen to him. Okay, and that's when he was as dominant as he was. There are good football players. And then there are individual football players. Jalen didn't want to be a leader, right? Jalen wasn't going to listen to anyone. Look at his career. I'm still a Jalen guy, but look at everywhere he goes, he leaves a mess. Guy threw freaking Vic Fangio under the bus. I mean, so that happened with players, and the guy was so good. He was a star. Are today's players going to listen to Eric Armstead if he doesn't do anything? I mean, Eric Armstead, again, he's doing 2 things in Jacksonville. He's eating and he's going to the bathroom. That's it. He's doing nothing. He's done nothing. If he's legitimately hurt, I hope he gets better. But it's mysterious because we were told, he told me straight up when I interviewed him 3 weeks ago, whenever it was. He's fine. He's just getting a veterans camp. And maybe he shocks everyone by getting ready for Carolina, and all of a sudden he has a huge year. I'm already on record as saying I think he's going to have the biggest 180 on this team, turning things around behind only Trevor Lawrence, and I have him right ahead of Mason Smith. Those are my top 3. But you'll find out pretty quickly that in this league, if you can't play, your leadership's gone. Your voice is gone. The NFL listens to those who make plays. Who's the kid in jail again? Who used to do the Ric Flair stuff? Kid out of Notre Dame, the safety. Didn't he murder his mom or something like that? Remember he flew over to Mexico? Help me out here, Dylan.
I'm trying to.
You're a young guy. You're supposed to have a sharp mind, for crying out loud. He used to do the Ric Flair. Anyway, he was a defensive back out of Notre Dame. Sergio Brown. Okay. Great guy, perceived as a great leader, but he couldn't play. The NFL's weird. To be a leader in this league, you have to be a great player. I think you can literally count on one hand true leaders in the NFL that aren't great players. And think about how different that is compared to other sports. Look at baseball. I mean, you could have the 25th man on your roster who's like a phenomenal leader, and you want to keep him, or the 12th man on the bench in the NBA, or certainly in hockey. I mean, how many fourth-line guys who get 5.5 minutes of ice time a night during a 60-minute game, but, they're leaders. They're either leaders by dropping their gloves and fighting or doing whatever it is. In other sports, you can be a leader and not be a great player. I don't believe you can do that in the NFL. you have to be a great player. Is Eric Armstead still a great player? We'll find out.
From pit road to victory lane.
The sun setting behind him, the wind at his back.
This Sunday at Watkins Glen.
The checkered flag is in the air.
NASCAR is tuned up by Maxie's Mechanics on 1010XL.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Firehouse Subs has fries. Your hometown hero since '94 just cranked up the heat. Hot subs, crispy fries, golden, pillowy on the inside, and perfectly seasoned. Over 30 Jacksonville locations. Firehouse Subs, homegrown and now with fries.
Go ahead and dial it. Dial what? When you call in your opinion or hear an interesting interview from a sports insider on Jaguars Today or XL Primetime, you're getting it straight from the Checkmate Coatings phone line all day, every day on 1010XL.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Football season is here, so I've got to get organized. Lauren Brooks here. Closets by Design creates custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms or entertainment centers, wherever that clutter has taken over. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off with free installation. Yes, that's 40% off plus an additional 15% off this month only. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. I always brag on what you guys have on-road and off-road. But, Greg, tell everybody about what's happening on the water, because you got loads of opportunity.
We do. We've got lots of boats in stock. We got the Honda 19-foot Fisher Runabout. We've got the Coach pontoons, all of them with that legendary Honda motor and legendary Honda reliability, which you always want when you're out on the water.
You could be cruising along the Intercoastal or out on the ocean, but check it out. Facebook page ready for all of you to see, Cycles of Jacksonville, or their showroom on Atlantic near Regency.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden Eye & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Youth sports at the YMCA's focus on teamwork, discipline, and building confidence. Our experienced coaches can create a positive and supportive environment where your kids can grow, stay active, and develop a love for sports. Sports like basketball, volleyball, swimming, gymnastics, and even elite skills training. Join the fun and register. Give your kids a chance to be a part of something special. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 87.
Day 12 for the Jaguars, a non-padded practice. very nice out at the Miller Electric Center as far as the climate. Overcast, some shade, and as far as just being flat out hot and humid, really not the case today compared to other practices. It was more of a situational one. Again, I thought the energy was high, dominated by the offense early. Then the defense woke up late in practice. Liam Cohen told us that starters will go on Saturday night. We'll see how long. Guess Kay Adams got out of leak home that the starters will go for about a quarter. We also had the announcement from Cohen that Travis Hunter's going to go both ways, and today brought the return of Brian Thomas Jr. If you're wondering, Mike Tomlin said today that most of their stars aren't going to play. Rodgers, Ramsey, Metcalf, Darius Slay, Joey Porter Jr., Watt, Cam Hayward, Warren. The list goes on and on and on. So I guess a different overall feel as far as the philosophy. For what it's worth, I think Jacksonville's making the right move. Totally new team, new offense, defensive scheme. They haven't practiced tackling yet. I think those are among the reasons why it makes sense for the Jaguars to play starters on Saturday.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Some guys really getting beaten up around the NFL today.
Yeah, I mean, good grief. We were at Jaguar practice. I got into my car, find out that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, the former Gator, it's in his first year at Houston. Nothing's been announced yet, but from all indications, it doesn't look good. That would be a significant blow for Houston.
He is a ball hawk. He's a mean guy. I mean, he's the guy you want on your team.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. And again, nothing definite on that, but he got carted off. It was one of those where all the players took a knee. That was not a good look. We already know Rashawn Slater. I mean, luckily he just signed that contract. But now Justin Herbert's going to be without his left tackle for the entire year with a ruptured patella. Boy, Justin Herbert can't catch a break. Just absolutely cannot catch a break. So you want to talk about air being let out of the balloon? Rashawn Slater is one of the best young offensive linemen in the league. And for the Chargers to lose him on August 7th for the entire season, just good grief, man.
11 days after signing that enormous contract. And then Dylan and I just saw the video of Richardson, Anthony Richardson, going down in Indianapolis. So we'll see. All right. You and I have talked about it on air, off air, whatever. Liam Cohen's going to play his starters.
Yeah, I'm quite frankly, I'm a little surprised. Not that the starter's going to play, but I'm surprised that Trevor is going to play. Trayvon Walker, Joshua Hines-Allen. Although I get it, they only have one joint practice. I think Liam Cohen's made it very clear. If they had two joint practices, they may not be playing against Pittsburgh. But because they only have the one, and it's only a one-day joint practice with Miami, you kind of almost have to play your guys against Pittsburgh and maybe a little bit against New Orleans to get them ready. So we'll see. Hopefully it works out. But when you see these injuries, now granted all these were in practice, right? But when you see these injuries start accumulating across the league, gives you a little bit of pause. But it all of a sudden makes Saturday night a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I bet they're going to sell some more tickets down there now, knowing Travis Hunter's going to play both ways.
I would think so. And I know all about that. We talk about bubble wrap and, being scared. I mean, I've seen in consecutive days now, Hunter, as far as his route tree, go right over the middle, right behind the backers in front of the safeties. And I find myself saying, nah. Getting the ball behind the line of scrimmage, throw the deep ball, throw out routes. I don't want Travis Hunter running across the middle of the field. But again, that's just my mind working. You can't play the game scared.
No, you can't. You can't play the game scared. And of course, if anything were to happen on Saturday night, certainly hope it doesn't. But if anything were to a name guy, everybody will be Monday morning quarterbacking it to the T. I mean, everybody I'm sure is happy now. But you know as well as I do that if an injury happens on Saturday, what are you doing playing them? The opinion will be 180 degrees different. And that's actually something I'm going to talk about tonight. Boy, the honeymoon's been fun, right? Liam Cohen and James Gladstone and Tony Baselli and, Travis Hunter and in this offseason. I mean, the honeymoon's been fun. Games are going to start mattering in 32 days, 31 days. Preseason games begin on Saturday. What's going to happen with this fan base the first time that Travis Hunter maybe blows a coverage for a touchdown?
He's going to.
Or what's going to happen the first time Travis Hunter's open in the end zone or Brian Thomas Jr.'s open in the end zone and Trevor overthrows them or there's a drop. There are going to be growing pains.
No doubt.
My question is, will Jaguar fans be okay with that? Or are they so immersed in this honeymoon period that they haven't even thought about the negative, which will start maybe as early as Saturday night?
Deion Sanders gave up touchdowns. Charles Woodson, Rashean Mathis, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Beasley.
They all
matter
do.
who. I mean, it's just the way the league is. All right, what else tonight?
Yeah, Antonio Johnson's my Jaguar training camp one-on-one. I'm going to talk with a third-year safety. How about that? Third year in the league, his third different defensive coordinator here in Jacksonville. It is a mess. Jared Bailey of the Sporting News, and we'll do a little fantasy football talk. Get you ready for some of your drafts. Dave Kluge of Football Guys joins me in the 9 o'clock hour.
All right, Hacker, have a great night.
Thanks, Rick.
It's going to do it for us. Thank you to USA NFL columnist Jarrett Bell. Appreciated having him on. He came through Duval on Tuesday to watch the Jaguars practice. Also, you heard from rookie Bashal Tutin, who is quarterly back and has been now for a couple of days after having tightness with the hamstring. All right, Friday night, we'll do a full-out preview of the scrimmage. I think I'll go through camp 3 weeks, 3 weeks in. And guys who I believe have been stars in camp, guys who have maybe left a little bit to be desired. That'll be part of Friday night's program. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. My name is Rick Ballou. Have a fun evening.